Hi guys, this is a redirect to my reaction to The Walking Dead Season 1 Episode 2. Another great episode, very gross, extremely, a lot more gross, a lot more gory and violent than the first episode, but it was an interesting, and it was interesting, and it was strategic as well. So firstly, I just want to clear this up because I didn't know. I was just like looking through Wikipedia straight after I reacted to this episode. So on Wikipedia it says that Laurie and Shane, they actually think Rick is dead. Personally, if I was a wife, I'd still be hopeful somewhat that my husband is still out there, like there's still a possibility, but then again, is a zombie apocalypse, so to each their own. But anyway, they've begun a relationship, and they had you know at the very beginning of the episode, and that gonna make it a bit uncomfortable, but it seems like they did have an affair though, considering that Laurie is, well, from what I remember from the first episode, Rick and Laurie didn't have a very good marriage to begin with, because apparently Rick didn't spend enough time with his family, but then again, I don't know that much, but no spoilers please, I do not want any spoilers. So that's that, but she's still keeping it from her son. I don't know, did she tell her son like, oh, your dad's actually dead? Because he's really not, he's still a survivor. It's gonna be awkward when they finally reunite and she's like, oh, you're still alive, and I've begun a relationship with Shane. Anyway, who is Rick's colleague as well, so that's another awkward thing. Yeah, and then Rick, he met this team of survivors. So the Chinese guy called Glenn, okay, I won't say Chinese, Asian guy called Glenn, sorry, I didn't mean to be politically correct or anything, just the first thing that came to my mind. I'll just say Asian guy, who helped Rick escape from the tank. So he was stuck in that tank, and there was like a swarm of zombies around that tank, and he was trapped in there. And then he got the call from a survivor that was nearby, so Glenn helped him like find a way to get to Glenn. So all of the zombies, like, he just had to make a run for it. He had a couple of rounds on the pistol that he got from the dead guy in the tank, and he had an axe with him as well, I believe. So yeah, he made one run for it, he met Glenn, and then they came up the ladder, and then they went into the department store, which is basically a safe camp for the survivors there, a team of survivors. The blonde woman, like, she was about to shoot Rick in the head because it was actually Rick's fault, who lured all of the zombies to the shop. So now all of the zombies are like trying to get into the department store slash shop. And they were like proper breaking the glass, and just throughout this episode it was just slowly more and more cracking the glass, and then they finally came in, but that was like much later on. Their plan is to escape the whole damn place, and so the first idea was for Glenn and the more overweight kind of dude, I don't know what his name is, so I don't know how to describe him in any other way, so please don't be offended. He was a little bit more on the chubbier side, so that guy, he went with Glenn to the tunnel, the sewers area, to find a way out, because they can go through underground, but there were zombies underground, so they couldn't go through that route to get out, so they had no choice for the sake of survival. And I was so grossed out. I was like, Rick went a bit too overboard with the chopping up. Like, I think just a bit of guts would have done it, but no, he proper went overboard. And I would never have come up with an idea like that. I never would have come up with an idea like that at all. It's just gross. They literally scattered, they covered all of their bodies with human remains, human guts. I felt like vomiting when I reacted to that part. That was so gross. It's not exactly the first thing that would come to mind when trying to survive, to be honest. But it did work. Well, for a little while it worked until the rain came. Mother Nature can be a bitch sometimes. Rick and Glenn, they went outside. I don't know why the others covered themselves with guts, human remains as well, when they didn't actually go outside. It was just Rick and Glenn who went outside. So they were covered in guts, so they tried to blend in with the zombie crowd as much as possible, and it did actually work. The zombies were not paying attention to them, which is a good thing. But then the rain came, so the rain, it washed off the blood and the guts around them, and so the zombies are attracted to fresh meat, I guess. So they were able to sense the fact that Rick and Glenn were actually lively, and not dead. So they had to run for it, and thankfully they were able to escape. Honestly, I thought someone was actually going to die in this episode, but wow, all of the survivors actually did survive in this episode. So that's good. Well, technically, the guy, the racist bigot, he was left behind. But the black guy, he lost the key, so he couldn't actually save him, release him and save him. But he did lock the door, so in a way, he still got some protection. If it's locked, then there's no way for the zombies to get into the roof unless it's from another building. But I kind of doubt zombies can jump that high from building to building. Anyway, so Rick and Glenn were covered in guts, and zombies were attracted to them after the rain washed off the blood and stuff. So they finally went to the truck because they had to go over the fence when the zombies were about to attack them. And then they found a truck and went inside the truck. They drove the truck so that they can get the other survivors to go inside the truck, and then they can leave together. That was the plan, to get a truck and leave together. There was a bit of a misunderstanding at the beginning. I thought that they were using the dead remains as a way to attract the zombies instead of blending in with them. So that was my mistake. I'm sorry about that. I'm still learning about like all the rules and stuff, and the strategies. So yeah, and then Glenn, he had a red car. He went on another car, so I guess he split up from the group now. Maybe they'll reunite later. They do have the walkie-talkies, I believe, to communicate anyway. So Rick's mission is to find his wife and son. So and also the blonde woman, the blonde survivor, she has a sister that's in the same survivor camp as Rick's wife. So the reunion with Rick and Laurie is going to be awkward, but the sisters, that'll be a nice reunion if they ever do reunite. So yeah, that's still going on. They safely escaped, so I'm glad no one died in this episode, but it's just episode 2. Oh man, I can just sense that so many people are going to die much later on. But anyway, let's not think about that. So another great episode, very, very, very violent and gory, but it is a zombie apocalypse. That is definitely the goriest and the ugliest. It was just so gross. Just seeing them cover themselves in guts. I don't even know what to put for the thumbnail. Like, what if that gets taken down? I guess I'm gonna have to censor that. Anyway, what you think of these episodes? Let me know, and stay tuned for more.